Music, it's something infinitely complex. It grows with you. Wherever you are, that music is following you, and you hear it differently. Ideal, you should treat your voice like another instrument. And when you are singing in the opera, yes, you are on a stage and you are saying the words, but if you really think about it, there is a big, great and very complex dialogue between the orchestra. To have serious fun. Not just fun. We are coming here and we drink beer and we have fun. No, not that kind of fun. But working in the opera and working together and loving the work they are doing.
Hello everyone, welcome back to 蔓延书宁. This is Beatrice. Today I have the great honor of speaking with Conductor Codrut Birsan. He's also artistic director of Chicago Summer Opera. Maestro, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Would you like to say hello to our listeners?
Hello everyone. I hope you'll enjoy our discussion.
Yay! So this summer I'm working with Maestro at Chicago Summer Opera on our double bill, the medium and Jamskiki.
Yes.
I have to say I really enjoy your music rehearsal. They've inspired me a lot. And I remember during rehearsals you often emphasize that opera is speaking in the right pitches. Would you say this kind of reflects your core philosophy as an opera conductor?
Well, yes, speaking on the right pitches, it's something that I think when I say it, it helps the students to do not focus too much on their voice, which obviously you have to do that, but once you're on a stage, you focus on your voice and on your technique in your room, and you learn and you make sure that you can hit all the notes and the style and everything is right. But once you're on stage, once you start staging, you need to start creating a character. You need to bring your unicity. There are many, as I said many times before, there are many great voices, but they can also be very boring. So if you do not believe in what you are doing, what do you sing there and what do you say there, it can become boring. So basically, speaking on the pitches, first of all, it helps you to keep the right tempo, and if the conductor is good, and obviously what we do here, Mozart, Puccini, Menotti, so on, Britten, they are all phenomenal conductors. The timing of their melodies, the timing of the music, it's very well written with the words. So instead of thinking about just making a sound, you are thinking about the timing and the melodicity of the language. So that brings much more the character out.
Oh, I see. And I really resonate that idea. And actually, I was a singer before, so I think that's because of how singers are trained. So 90% of their focus goes into perfecting their voice. That said, how do you usually help them to achieve that speaking in the right pitches instead of make beautiful voice? And how would you say that differs from simply sing beautiful?
How can I help them? It depends on obviously everyone's technique and how well do you control your voice and your vocal technique, and how well you can hit high notes or low notes or medium or so on. But the more you think about vocal technique, especially on a stage, you get very tense because you are thinking, oh, here comes the B flat, here comes the G, here comes the who knows what notes. So it has a bigger repercussion on your body tension and so on. Once you stop thinking, or you stop thinking, and you think about acting and so on, I believe that your body starts answering better to your vocal technique.
Yeah.
We all want to, okay, here comes the B flat, we have to, it's that position, it has to go there, it has to be there, there are so many schools, singing schools out there, everyone says something different, but I think the more you stop thinking about that, and you think about your character, and you think about your words, and you think about your brightness in your voice, if you sing Italian or any other language actually, it will help you to sing better.
So can we say opera is a kind of art form driven by language? And does your approach adjust when conducting like different language, like Italian, German, French?
In conducting, besides the style of the composer, the singing technique, it's the same. You do not necessarily change. You don't want to sing back. You want to be as loud, as present as possible. So that doesn't necessarily change. Doesn't matter in what language you sing. You want to be heard and be able to carry over the orchestra. Now, is opera driven by the words or by music? They are both equal. I don't even know I cannot give you a percentage. Which one is more important, music or words? I mean, obviously, the music, that's why it's opera, because it's music. Yeah. But we could just do some vocalizing and sing on something else, and then it's only the music and we have no words. But we have the words, and we do use this really, really cool librettos that they are in the opera. Now, are they like the quality of the straight theater? Not really. I mean, if you look like, who knows, Britain and Midsummer, or he's cutting obviously a lot from Shakespeare plays and so on. So, but still, we are saying a story. We are actors, and if you just think about your voice and not thinking about acting, you're not a singer. You are a body who makes some sounds.
Yeah, and I think the great opera always like music fits word fits
exactly
each other.
There is no opera, art song, vocal symphonic, everything. As long as you have words, exactly like you said, they feed each other, and it's very important for you to be a character. You cannot just think about how round, how beautiful is my voice.
And I know you worked as a collaborative pianist and a singer. How did this experience shape your understanding of opera? And I'm also curious, how did you decide to become a conductor?
Well, I've decided by necessity, and I always liked to create my own opportunities. Many years ago, I was in need of a conductor, but I didn't have any money to hire a conductor, so I couldn't find a conductor, and I said, I can do that. I can keep the beat and so on. Well, obviously very superficial thinking, but I did it and I liked it and it felt natural, although I didn't know what am I doing, but it felt pretty natural. So then I did one more and another one and another one and another one, and finally I started thinking that maybe I should conduct a little bit more, and I start asking around conductors and teachers conducting, like, hey, how can I solve this problem? How can I solve this problem? Yeah, so like that I got into conducting.
I see. And moving from opera coaching to conducting, have you met any challenges? What would you say that was the biggest one?
Well, it's the orchestra.
Oh.
It's the orchestra that when you are a coach, ideally you should know what instruments are playing, so you know what do you play on the piano and how do you play it on the piano. Is there pits in the violins? What do you play here? What do you try to reproduce? You know, you try to reproduce winds, you try to reproduce brass. And I tried to look over this kind of music when I was a coach, but it was never with the intensity that you look when you start actually conducting an orchestra and actually being like, okay, so now all these instruments are actually here. As a pianist, you can very easily follow the singer. You have to learn in time that an orchestra cannot follow the singer very easy. And I guess unless it's a very, very, very good orchestra and they know the repertoire very well, but obviously an orchestra moves much harder than a pianist if a singer is making a mistake or jumps some measures and so on. It's very easy for the pianist to just jump the measures and catch the singer, but an orchestra cannot do that.
Their ensemble, they have
it's
to
very hard
get,
to move 40 people jumped 2 measures during the show or something like that. I think it's impossible, not very hard. Maybe some people can do it. I don't know. I cannot do that. So that's what's the difference in getting from opera coach, that you deal with the voice and with the music and with the timing and tempos and so on, and building the character, and then you start conducting. Then you need to start taking consideration of all the colors that are in the orchestra, that you, as much as you try to do it on piano, you won't be able to do it. So it's another job, let's call it. It's no more complex or less complex, it's just another job.
I see. And I was also wondering, which composers do you find the most challenging to conduct?
Challenging? Well, I don't know, they all have their own difficulties. Like Mozart is, I love Mozart. Mozart is so, every note, if it's a mistake, you can hear it. Britten also, I love it very much. Again, although it's much more complex harmonically, let's say, on Britten, yes. And the rhythms are just nuts in Britten. Everything what you are doing, Albert Herring, or you're doing Midsummer, or whatever you're doing, Rape of Lucretia, all this, they're so rhymically challenging. And then you go in bel canto. Well, bel canto, it's totally another beast. It's like you need to know how to follow the singer and to make the singer feel comfortable, because it's such the lines are so big, and depends from singer to singer how do you conduct. So basically you need to know the opera very well, because it's not an equal 4/4 2 measures that they are the same.
I see. I've just started learning conducting this past semester, and I often hear people say that conducting opera is more complex than conducting symphonic music. So in your opinion, what makes opera conducting more challenging?
I wouldn't say it's more complex than conducting symphony. I wouldn't say something like that. You could say, for example, opera, it's easier to conduct than symphony. Why? Well, you have all the words, you know exactly what you conduct about. But then you get the symphony, and well, what do you conduct about? Nobody's telling you. I mean, I guess you can go and study and read about and see why Beethoven composed this symphony, or Mozart, and what was the history and of at that time and so on. So you have an idea, but still it's like, and this is just one thing. It's different. It's not harder, it's not easier, it's just
another
different. It's another thing, and think that there is also the third one, and conducting ballet. Well, and I never conducted ballet, and I would be very scared to conduct something like that, because from what I understood, and it makes all the sense, the tempos has to be the same all the time. The dancer cannot stay in the air when She jumps and until you come on the beat that they have to get back on the ground. Yeah, so that's another huge challenge. And yes, very, very. So you need to know your 64 per quarter very well, or your 80 or your 100. It's not like today I feel different. I'm more emotional. I will. The largo will be even more largo. No, you cannot do that in ballet. From what I heard, again, I didn't conduct ballet. So it's music. It's a form of expression, and the expression you can study a symphony your entire life. If you conduct, it's about your life experience and where you are in life. That's how do you conduct. But it's one thing to conduct, I don't know, La Bohème when you are 20, and one thing is to conduct La Bohème when you are 40 and maybe you had somebody loved that died. Well, you will conduct very differently that La Bohème. Yeah. So, and you will hear so many other sounds and so many other emotions and so many other colors. It's completely different. So, talking into like, this is easier, this is harder, this is more challenging, this is this, I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't. Music, it's something infinitely complex. It grows with you wherever you are. That music is following you, and you hear it differently.
I think the reason why I heard from others said like that because they only have background of symphonic music. Yeah. They don't have opera experience, so they think, oh, conducting opera is more complex. I think that's why. And I feel that opera is already have the resource, that words. The opera music, can I say, is always like scene-based and character-driven, and the music often paints like kind of clear picture, atmosphere, and personality. In contrast, symphonic music, it can be scene-based, but can be more abstract and focus on clarity of structure and internal logic. I don't know if
well, all of them. Yes, you can say that. But I think it's all about creating emotions, colors, and bringing as a conductor, bringing your idea to surface. If it's opera or it's symphonic or it's, yes, you do have in opera the words and you know what it is, but that doesn't mean that who knows what you're conducting. La Bohème, it's doesn't mean that you have some set of rules and this is how it's supposed to be and that's what it is. Yeah, musically, yes, but then it does have a lot of under substance that every conductor and every player brings it differently. Yes, and you can. I try not to do too much of comparison between conducting opera or conducting symphonic or ballet or as I said, I didn't conduct too much. I conduct some symphonies, but I'm not a symphony conductor. I conduct more opera, but I truly believe that it's just a form of expression that doesn't matter what do you do. It's very complex.
I see. And singers and instrumentalists often have very, I would say, different rehearsal habits and personalities. I feel singers can sometimes be more sensitive. In your experience, how is working with singers different from working with instrumentalists?
In my experience, they are the same.
Oh, really?
Yes, they are the same. I work with young artists, yes. There are people who learn their part. There are people who don't learn their part. It's
really?
Simple, yes.
Oh, instrumentalists as well?
Of course, instrumentalists. There are many instrumentalists who are coming to the first rehearsal with the orchestra, for example, and they have no idea what it is. Maybe they didn't even listen to that opera once. So I think it's more about the personality of the person, of the artist, and how serious they take. I worked with singers who are great musicians, and more and more and more singers have a background of being an instrumentalist, like pianists or who knows, violinists or whatever. So their musicality, their music theory and everything is pretty strong. So it's another instrument. Ideal, you should treat your voice like another instrument. And when you are singing in the opera, yes, you are on a stage and you are saying the words. But if you really think about it, there is a big, great and very complex dialogue between the orchestra, the flute, the oboe, the violins, the so on, and the singer. So it's chamber music. We collaborate all the time. In my opinion, if you come with as an instrumentalist in the orchestra and you say, well, this is opera, I'm just staying here and I'm just playing in the pit and whatever. I will not, I'm just following the singer and that's it. I'm not important. That's wrong. That's wrong because it's not like that. No composer wrote, this orchestra follows the singer and that's it. You know, it's like, it's a collaboration.
And I think instrumentalists, because they are ensemble, they need to get together, so they focus more on structure and ensemble. And actually singers, they more like soloists, so they more focus on like feeling.
Yeah, but singers are also singing in a choir now. They are also choristers, and then when they are in a choir, they have to be homogeneous. They have 10 tenors, they need to sound the same. Or maybe not, depends. I mean, when you sing in a choir, an opera choir, you use other kind of voice. When you sing in a cappella choir, it's very different. But everything as an ensemble, when you work in an ensemble, yes, you have these qualities that you have to match and being able to tune with the other people and play in the same time and also all kind of other things. As a singer soloist, it's exactly like as a violinist soloist or as a pianist soloist. It's like, it's your part, it's solo, it's written to be solo, be a soloist. That's exactly what is with Traviata. She's the soloist and she needs to be loud, she needs to have her personality out as much as possible. But for a chorister, you don't want that, which again is not harder or is not easier. It's a different job.
I was wondering, how do you usually encourage ensemble orchestra or ensemble choir to encourage their imagination or feeling, emotion of music?
I have no idea. I'm sure there are techniques that you do this. I'm sure there are. Me personally, I try to tell the story and I'm trying to tell what I feel and what I try to do. And I'm trying to recreate the emotion that I'm going or the situation that we are in. So many times I'm actually conducting an opera, I'm explaining them what's happening in the scene. It's playing this cello or doing pits here because this is what I think it represents in that scene. But I do not have a very specific way of encouraging, of educate them what's important.
And part of encouraging that emotional depth probably involves giving singers or instrumentalists some freedom and space for individuality. How much freedom do you usually give them?
Are you talking about the soloists or about the orchestra? Or the chorus?
I'm curious, all the three.
All three?
Yeah.
Well, for all of them, you have your music in front of you, so you know what the composer wanted. So you have to find your freedom between this
between the math,
this barriers or whatever, this idea of the composer, these measures and so on. So basically, what I'm telling, especially the singer soloists, is like really practice, memorize your music as it's in the book. Not however Mirella Freni or Pavarotti or Domingo sings it and you listen and then you try to reproduce that, because that's not maybe what's in the book. You have to learn what's in the book and to come with what's in the book at the rehearsal, known very well. And then from there we can talk, okay, what is this allargando means to you? What is this, accelerando means to you? Well, faster, but why? And then we start building together something. But if you do not study the score very well, and you even don't know that there is an accelerando, and you just heard that they are somehow sing faster or slower or something, then that's not actually freedom. So once you know what's in the book, then practice that and find the freedom in this notation.
So honoring the score first,
exactly,
and find your logic.
Exactly, find your logic after you know what's in the music. Otherwise, it's like sing alone in the bathroom, in the shower, and nobody cares. You can stay on your phrases as long as you want, and you can do however you want. Yes. But as I said, there is a collaboration between singers, orchestra, conductor, pianists, whatever it is, everywhere. There is a collaboration, and everybody is reading from that music. And a composer like Mozart, Puccini, Britten, I mean, it doesn't even matter which this amazing composer, they know exactly what they want. So they do write it down. So if you don't honor that, sing alone.
We've talked about collaboration between conductor, singer, instrumentalist. Let's talk about stage director. So I was wondering, when you're conducting an opera, do you often have a specific visual image in your mind for each scene or moment? And if your music vision ever conflicts with a stage director's concept, how do you usually handle that?
Well, I don't know. Until now, I didn't have any stage directors that we didn't collaborate very well, and hopefully it will stay like that. Well, I do. First of all, we have to decide what kind of stage directing are we talking about? Because here at Chicago Summer Opera, the most important thing that I try the students to take away from this program is how to create a character and how to find this character relation with the other characters. Is it important that he's on the left or on the right side? Yes. Not for me so much as a conductor, but I think that once you have a very good understanding of your character with minimal blocking, you can just do it. You don't need too much. Well, as a young artist, young students, they are coming here, the blocking helps them very much to understand who they are and why are they. And that's where the stage directors, very specific kind of stage directors, they are coming to this program, are helping them. They're actually, the stage directors are teaching them. This is what you do, this is what you do, this is how do you create your character. But I do have always in mind the relation between characters, staging. And that's staging. Emotions are very, again, opera, actually everywhere in music, but especially in this, emotions are very important. We know that we are on the same kind of emotion. And same kind of timing, same kind of, how do you feel hurt? Do you feel angry? Do you feel out of control? Do you start laughing because you're angry? Do you feel, who knows? And all this, if you do this, you don't need to go left or right. You can just stand on the stage and sing and believe in the character that you have, and that's already enough. So I do think about staging very much when I am conducting and when I'm working musically with the singers. Now, of course, a stage director has the technique of putting everything together and making to actually look good, because on the stage there are so many more other things that are going in. And until now, I basically worked with very nice people and very nice stage directors that I didn't have any issues. And luckily, many of the stage directors, if not almost everyone, they were singers before. So they will not put a singer singing, who knows, looking backstage and not being able to sing front. So they all know this kind of things, like don't sing in the wings, don't sing back, always sing forward, because you have to sing over an orchestra. Yeah.
I was also wondering, what kind of stage director do you enjoy working with the most? In your view, what makes a great opera stage director?
I don't have a stage director that I like working the most. As I said, I find the pleasure of working with different stage directors and seeing different ideas of people. But if a stage director finds, like if he's doing a comedy and he has a very good timing of comedy and can make the students flourish on a stage because of the comedy, or great timing for drama and so on, I think it's necessary. Ideally, I like to work with stage directors who they know what they are staging about. They know music, but also they know what they are staging about. And every language, the better you know the language, the better you can stage, the better you can sing, the better you can move, everything. Yeah, I mean, you know how many different things you can say through one word. Yes. If you just do your Nico Castell as a singer or as a stage director translation, yeah, it's good, you know what you're saying about, but not enough. Not enough. So I like working with people who really know what they are saying. Not necessarily what's their translation, but they know what they are saying. And a stage director obviously needs to know very well what these people are saying, so he knows what world to create around that.
Yeah, and as we've talked about, opera is word and music fit each other, and I believe if we bring the visual part, the staging needs to fit with the music. I believe stage director and conductor need to be in the same page.
Yes.
And it's so important that take honoring the music as a stage director. And this day we see many opera production where the director concept is not rooted in the music. It might come from like visual, political, or even science fiction inspiration, like setting an opera in the moon or somewhere else. As a director myself with a singing background, I deeply believe I need to take honor in music, but I also often get inspiration by non-music ideas. So I was wondering, when we want to bring in such fresh, unconventional concept, how can we make sure that still make musical sense? And as a conductor, how do you feel about this approach?
Well, it's pretty, the opera, it's a very complex form of art. From the singing, to the orchestration, to the costumes, to the blocking, to the lights, there's a lot of stuff that goes in, yes? And so it's a very complex form of art. It's a very expensive form of art that doesn't necessarily make money. So that's a big problem. And also it has to be a balance, like everywhere in the world. It has to be a balance. When the balance starts leaning towards, who knows, stage directing, for example, then yes, it gets a little bit out of hand. But like every artist, it's not just in opera, and there are conductors who have a lot of power and they say, well, we will do this tempos in Merge Figaro, we do this and this, which has nothing to do with what's in the score. But because they can, because they have big names, they change it. And it's an experiment that it will survive or not, who knows. That's what's happening with stage directors. They have some visions, and again, music is a form of art, it's a form of expression. They choose to express themselves show some similitudes between, I don't know, some moments in the history with this music. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. When it gets, and many of the stage directors are taking it too far. Many of artists, again, they just try to make it as an artist, so maybe they want to shock through their form of art, and they do shock. Doesn't mean it's necessarily good. Again, good art, yes, there is good art or not, but I like thinking is some art that talks to you and some art that doesn't talk to you. Just because you bring an entire choir naked on the stage, because you try to prove something as a stage director, I'm not saying it's a bad idea, I'm saying it doesn't work for me, and I'm not interested in seeing 40 people naked on a stage. It doesn't make sense. Or who knows what connections do you try to make between history and the opera, and some people will like it, some people won't like it. I think the safest is to stay with what the composer said, what the librettist said, and I think in opera, as long as you have good players, good singers, honesty in singing and in your character, it's enough that even you can hear 50 traviatas in a row. If you have 50 sopranos, 50 baritons, 50 tenors, 50 different, there is something new. You don't need to, wow, let's put this on the moon. This traviata this time will be on the moon or will be under the water. Yeah, okay, it's an idea. Do it if you have enough money to spend on this thing. And there are some companies who do have a lot of money, so they can do whatever they want. Well, bring me Maria Callas, bring me Tebaldi, bring me anytime, and let me hear her singing, and Bastianini or Pavarotti or whomever, Del Monaco or whomever, so many great singers they were before or they are now in our days. Let them do their job honestly. It doesn't have to be something that nobody heard it, because it is anyhow. You change the people, and that's what makes opera great, the people. And when you change the people, you get a new character, you get a new Traviata, you get a new Germont, you get a new orchestra playing, you get a new conductor. So you don't need to bring Traviata on the moon to be different. Just stay where you are, be honest, and do your job.
I see.
You don't need to hunt for glamorous.
And in your view, what does opera mean to modern audience today? Why do you think opera still matters and still feels special in our time?
I don't know how special opera feels in our times. Obviously, the big houses have issues in bringing so many people how they used to be, bring people in seats and so. Because the obvious reason, the internet, the other shows, the AI that you can do, everything is very close up right now, everything. I think that opera, first of all, is very important because it's a form of art. Why is painting important? Because it's a form of art and it's expression, and we humans, we need to express ourselves through whatever form of art we have. When we fight in a couple, it's because we try to express. When we make love, it's because we try to express. When we, who knows what. We always, this is our need. We need to express ourselves. And opera is one form to express yourself. It won't disappear, but it will transform, I'm sure. Opera has to transform. Opera has to, because world transforms. Everything transforms. Plus, you get the world gets smaller and smaller and smaller with technology. What was 3 months 100 years ago to come from Europe to America, or how long it took, I don't know. Now it takes 8 hours. Yeah, so you jump in the airplane and you are here. Internet, everything. The world gets very, 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 very small, and you need to adapt the opera form. Grand opera, bringing the elephants on the stage. I don't think it will work anymore, and nobody will bring an elephant because you have AI that you make a drawing on the stage or a reflection of Now, what I found in my experience extraordinarily is that it doesn't matter if you are an opera connoisseur or not, if you know opera, if you don't know opera. Once you have an opera-trained singer in a close proximity and singing to you, there is not one person who said, I don't really care. No. Everyone was impressed. And there is not one person in this world that sees a soprano who sings very high and very powerful, or a tenor or a bass who sings very low that shakes the room. They're not impressed. Where comes the opera connoisseur is that when you put them on the Met stage or on the Lyric and there are like 4,000 seats, you realize how amazing these people are. But people who are not going to this kind of companies to see different shows, for them they're like, I can barely hear him. But if that person will hear a singer like that in a 200 seats, 300 seats, will be blown away. Wow! And they start liking opera. They start liking the feeling. They start liking the vibration that they get from the opera and from the brass and from everything else. So it talks to them. But in this big houses, you really need to understand what these people are doing on that stage. If you don't know that, then it's like, I can get a DJ, put the speakers, and it'll be louder, and I feel it. I feel more. Yeah.
So opera in the future will transform, but what's the core of opera will never change is expression. Can I say that?
Well, yeah. Plus, so many genres of music right now. Yes, 100 years ago, there was jazz in America. There was not jazz in Romania. 100 years ago, no. I don't know how much jazz was in Japan or in Korea, but now you have internet, you have schools, you have, so all this genre of music like jazz, classical, all this folk, Irish, it's very easy to go and start learning about Chinese opera, no? It's so easy. You just go online and start learning about Chinese opera. All this will combine. Somebody will think about, I want to make a jazz Chinese opera. I don't know, who knows what, right now I'm just speaking. I want to do a folk, Romanian, East European, Balkan jazz opera with it. That's the beauty of art, that you can do whatever you want as a creator. And you already see. And plus, orchestras now, they're very expensive, so people are composing for much smaller orchestra, much chamber orchestra, maybe just piano, maybe just who knows, But if the good libretto or the honest emotions and a good drama is not there, you can put 50 trombones playing, it doesn't have any effect. Plus, again, it's the subject that opera compose. In our days, rarely people are composing about, or basically nowadays they compose about anything, but it's not we're composing about gods anymore so much. So we public wants things that they are here, they are real, they are palpable, they live it, and then they can understand much better. And again, different instruments in this world, so many instruments. If you go all around from Australia to Africa, there are so many different instruments. Who says that you cannot compose an opera with that kind of instruments? No. So things are changing. So obviously opera that we know, the Traviata, the Aida, I'm sure they will remain because they are fantastic. But whatever comes new, it will be changed. And even Traviata and all this, they have to change it. I think in time it will transform
through the time.
Who knows what brings the future, but at this point everything transforms and transforms very fast.
True. And as an educator and artistic director, what do you most want young singers, young artists to learn from working with you in this program?
Well, this program, let's call it beginner program, you are not yet in a young artist program at the Lyric or at the Met. It's the first step after you finish your school, or you are still in your school.
Like a bridge program.
A bridge, yes. I guess at this point, you still have the chance to learn if you want to do this or not. It's not an easy life. Being a singer, you find work, as we know, very hard. You don't make too much money. So it's very important for what's important for you. So that I hope that after 3-4 weeks of very intense work and working with people all the time, that you say, well, I loved it, I want to do it again, or you say, sorry, this was not good. Well, we try our best to create the best environment, but they have to decide if they want to do it or not. And I want them to see where are they with the other singers. I mean, where's their level? Will I make it or not? Will I be able to ever become a singer? Or do I just want to be a singer because I love singing, and besides I will do also, I don't know, I'll become a lawyer. But I want to sing, I love singing, and I will keep singing. Great. But I think it needs to give you some reality, where you are, and from now on, see what are you doing with your life. And obviously, if you know already that you want to do this, I hope you learn how to approach a role, how to learn a role, what's important, what's difficult to learn in a role, what's easy. Because there are, for example, in Handel, we're doing this. Every year we're doing Handel operas. Everyone comes, everyone knows the arias. And then we hit the recit. No one knows the recit. Well, that's the work for a singer, especially if you want to do a Handel. You need to know how to do recit. You cannot, or Mozart, or anything else. I mean, you cannot just learn the arias, because then go do a concert and you don't need to. But if you want to be a character in a Handel opera, you need to learn all the recits. And it's 100% the same story. Students know much better the arias, and when they sing a recit, they don't even know how to approach it.
I see. And I got the last question. So in your opinion, as an artistic director of a program, of opera company, what kind of person do you usually look for? Like singer or conductor or stage director? What's the most important quality will choose this person join this program?
First of all, we need to answer the question, why are we doing this? It's a very complex question. If you are a doctor and you save lives, I don't care if you're a not very nice person, just save that person's life and go. Because you can be alone in your life, everybody has to help you when you go there, you save the life, you go away. If you are in art, if you're in opera, if you're a theater, a dancer, whatever you are, and you work with people, I think one of the most important thing is what I'm looking at is how to work with people. I don't need divas. I don't need people who are, the program is very stressful anyhow. You can be the nicest person. Even what I said this morning, once you get into the third week or the fourth week, the tech week, you will be on edge. That's how it is. It's a lot of work. It's many hours of staging, and then so I'm looking on people that are very professionally. They learn their music before, and then they want to have serious fun. Not just fun. We are coming here and we drink beer and we have fun. No, not that kind of fun. But working in the opera and working together and loving the work they are doing. It's a balance between so if the trombone or if the singer or if the violin won't play that note in that moment, is it such a big drama? No. I mean, between you and me, we will survive. All of us will survive. The world goes on. Desirable? won't happen. We strive to don't make any mistakes, but we're humans and we do make mistakes. For sure, we'll make mistakes. In every opera show that it's done here, there are a lot of mistakes, or a lot of things that don't go how I envisioned that it will go. But that's not the point. The point is to grow together into making art. And enjoy making art and having so-called fun in making art in a serious and very professional way. So that's the people I'm looking for.
Wow, thank you, Maestro.
You are very welcome.
Thank you so much for sharing your time, experience, and insight with me today. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
It's really inspired me a lot.